Hello and welcome back to Viralstyle Academy. Again, I'm your host, Luke Stassi, and we're going through the 101 courses here on Viralstyle Academy, teaching you how to learn the basics of selling t-shirts online. And we're really just trying to give you the fundamental skills that you'll need in order to be successful here in the beginning as you're learning introduction to selling t-shirts through the internet and through crowdfunding platforms. So this video we're calling Turning an Idea into a Design, an Introduction to Research. And the concept here is that you may already have an idea for a t-shirt, but you have to honestly look back and ask yourself the question, is this idea any good? Is this idea going to sell? Do people actually want it? Are they actually going to take their hard-earned money and spend it on the idea that you're offering? And you might have a good idea for a phrase, but you might not have the right graphics or the right layout, or you might have a good concept for a layout and the right fonts and the right graphics, but you might have a good phrase that is actually catchy and elicits the emotion that people are looking for, that they would want to buy your shirt. And so in the beginning, the reality is there's a concept out there called you don't know what you don't know. And the reality is that when you're getting started in selling t-shirts online, you don't know everything yet, and you don't know what you don't know. You don't know why things sell or don't sell. You don't know the marketing side of things. You don't know what it is about certain graphics and layouts and fonts and colors. So we're going to be teaching you all of these things piece by piece so that you can learn for yourself exactly how to build this business. So the first thing that you're going to have to begin learning is the concept of research. So in the last video, we were teaching you about how to pick a good niche. In this one, we're going to teach you how to begin researching into that niche and then also researching in designs, and so that you can start to get an eye for design and begin to understand what sells and what doesn't sell. So you have to try to figure out, how do you tell if an idea is good or not? And if you ask that question, the answer is a simple one. You tell if an idea is good or not based on what has sold before. Because if it's sold before, if people have bought it before, then you know that the idea worked. People were willing to spend money on it. And when you're first getting into the t-shirt game, I highly encourage people that it's easier to take concepts that have been around before and then reinvent them for a different niche, or tweak them or change them to make them unique and make them your own. Rather than trying to come up with a brand new phrase or a brand new concept. Because I've had a lot of people come to me that want to get into the t-shirt game, and when they're first getting started, they've got these ideas for t-shirts, and I would say about 98% of the time their initial ideas are not ideas that I think would sell, because they don't yet understand the right phrasing. They don't yet understand the right layouts. They don't understand how to elicit emotion within people that would cause them to make that spontaneous decision to purchase a t-shirt online. So you have to begin to learn these things. So the easiest way to do that is to look at other shirts that are out there already. And I would encourage you to look at thousands of shirts, asking yourself the question of, why did this sell? Who did they target? And how can you create something original from this idea? How can you take it to other niches, or how can you redesign it and make it unique and make it your own and put it back into the same niche? Let me also emphasize here that you don't ever want to copy. That's copyright infringement. It's something you can actually get sued for. It's wrong, it's unethical, and it's illegal. And so by no means should you ever see a design that's out there and copy it exactly, copy it word for word. But you can take a design or a phrase that exists and you can change it to make it a new, unique work. That would be maybe changing out some of the wording to make it better, make it more powerful, make it more punchy, or changing some of the wording to bring it into a new niche, a different niche. But we're going to go into a lot more detail down the road here as to the specifics of copyright infringement and the do's and don'ts. You can see that in another video down the road. But in the meantime, I really want to encourage you to again, as I mentioned in the last video, you're not, when you're first getting into this business, trying to be a pioneer. In order to be a pioneer, you need to understand how to read maps. You need to understand how a compass works. You need to understand the terrain and the lay of the land. And when you're first getting started, you don't know those things. You don't have those skills. You don't know what sells and what doesn't sell. So look at things that have sold before and then think, how can you reinvent this and make it your own? I'm stressing this because it's going to save you a lot of headache in the beginning to spin your wheels and waste your time and money in areas that you're not going to find success because you don't know where you're navigating. You don't know what you're charting. To move on here in regards to research, what you're trying to do is being inspired by something else that was successful before and use it as your template for a new idea. So you can take that idea and you can begin to use it as an example for creating your own unique design. You also want to be looking for phrases that could possibly be used across multiple niches. And I'm introducing an advanced concept here. We refer to it as horizontal scaling. Horizontal meaning that it's spreading out sideways, as in you could take it and you could use the same phrase for many different niches. So for example, there was a phrase out there, this girl loves her German Shepherd. You could also use that for this girl loves her poodle. This girl loves her pit bull. This girl loves her cat. This girl loves her motorcycle. This girl loves dirt biking. This girl loves playing tennis. Whatever it is, that phrase, this girl loves, is something that is a horizontal scalar that could literally be used for any niche. And so it's great to begin to get your mind thinking of, are there concepts out there like that? Because as you get more advanced in the business of selling t-shirts online, if you have a phrase that can be used against many different groups of people, it will allow you to make a lot more money because you can continue to push it out without so much work on the design aspect. And if it sells to one niche, it will likely sell to multiple niches. So that's just a brief touch. We'll cover that in a lot more detail later on here in Viralstyle Academy. So in our introduction to research here, I'm going to give you a number of different websites that you can use to begin doing research. I'm going to show you how to do it. These are the exact ways that I do research, and I'm going to walk you through just the simple concepts. There's a lot more advanced strategies here when it comes to research we're not going to get into today, but this is the introductory topics of how you can research online. The first place that you're going to want to go is to Google. This is the #1 place that I use for research, and you're going to just type in something as simple as this, German Shepherd t-shirts. And it's going to pull up a bunch of websites that you can actually work through and look through all of these for ideas. But the other place you can jump over is right over here to the images tab. And it's going to instantly generate for you dozens and hundreds of German Shepherd t-shirts. What you can do in searching Google is you can literally plug in any different niche or word. You can type in motorcycle t-shirts, okay? And instantly now you have hundreds of ideas for motorcycle t-shirts. You can type in nurse t-shirts, and instantly you have now hundreds of nurse t-shirts. You could do this for any niche that possibly exists, and you can use it to see what is already out there. And one of the things you might find is that you might have an idea for a shirt, but as you start researching, there might not be a whole lot of shirts out there. And I would highly advise you to not try to get into a niche like that yet. Wait until you understand selling t-shirts better, and then just leave it on a list, come back around to it when you get the concepts. So you can Google also something like, this is what I like to do, funny nurse t-shirts. And it's going to give you ones that are on the more comical end. So paramedic, the first person you see after saying, hold my beer and watch this. So you're going to find more funny shirts if you just add the word funny to any niche, any design. So you get the idea. You can begin digging through Google and you can see thousands and thousands of shirts that are out there on the internet being sold right now. So that's the first place to start. The second place I would like for you to start is to Pinterest. And if you're not familiar with Pinterest, Pinterest is a social media platform that you have to create an account for and log into in order to use. And on Pinterest, the users are basically pinning, or they're saving different things that they come across on the internet that they like, that they're inspired by, they find funny or amusing or thought-provoking, whatever it is. So on Pinterest, you can literally type in the same thing you did on Google, German Shepherd t-shirt, and you're going to instantly be generated hundreds and hundreds of German Shepherd t-shirts that have been pinned here on Pinterest. And the cool thing is that as you pin things on Pinterest, other people will see them and then they may repin them. So you can look here and see this one's got 22, this one's got 24, but whoa, look at this guy. This has 2,500 repins on Pinterest. So you can see, hey, this design is a design that resonates with people, clearly, or else they wouldn't be repinning it. Keep calm, it's a German Shepherd, not a freaking shark. I mean, it's funny, it's quirky, it's comical. If you're a German Shepherd owner, you'd think that this shirt was funny. And this is also a great example of a horizontally scaling design, because you could plug this in. Keep calm, it's a Doberman Pinscher. Keep calm, it's a pit bull. And you could plug in other dogs that people might be intimidated by, that you could play around with this. And you could also change this word to make it unique. You could say, keep calm, it's a German Shepherd, not a freaking grizzly bear, not a freaking T-Rex. You know, so you're still playing off of the emotion here that it's not something scary. It's a kind dog that you love. People don't need to be afraid of it. So That's just a brief touch on how you can take a phrase and make it your own, and you can try it out for yourself. So another place to do research is to jump on Facebook and just go up here to the search engine, type in the same thing, German Shepherd t-shirt. And under the top tab, it's going to actually show you shirts that are being sold right now on Facebook geared towards German Shepherds. And if you see something like this, 5.1 thousand likes, that means that a lot of people really like this one. So you can say, well, what is it about this shirt? Why do they like it? You know, if all dogs were created equal, then God made German Shepherds. So this is, again, a horizontally scaling design. You could plug in here Pit Bull, you could plug in Poodle, whatever it is, and people would resound with that particular dog that they're into. So you want to look for ones that have a lot of activity. 2 likes means this one isn't really getting any traction. 116 is not a whole lot. 43 is not a whole lot. So you can kind of look through here and see if anything's getting some traction, then you can know this might be a good shirt or not. Another thing you could do is just delete the word t-shirt. Okay, just type in German Shepherd and then come over here to pages. And what this is going to do is show you all of some of the biggest pages out there on Facebook that are related to German Shepherds. And these are some of the best places that you can possibly do research on your particular niches to begin to understand the people, understand what they like, what they find funny, what they resonate with, what makes them feel proud, what they actually share. So I would try to look at some of the big ones out here. So this one, the first one is this German Shepherd dog community. It's got 1.5 million people. Obviously, this is a humongous following. And when you jump on here, you can see they're selling t-shirts too. If you scroll through here, you can see the ideas that they're putting out there and what people resonate with. And a great place is to come and jump on something like the Photos tab, and you can see all the pictures that they're posting, and you can get what people are into. You look for the ones that are getting lots of likes and comments and shares, and you can say, wow, you know, okay, that's what people like. That's what the people in the German Shepherd community are interested in, what they find funny or humorous, provoking, inspiring, whatever it is. And outside of just looking at the t-shirts that they're selling, I would really encourage you to always look at memes that are out there, because memes are such a great place to get ideas for t-shirts, because if it's getting a lot of likes and comments and shares, then it likely could be converted into a t-shirt and would also sell. And I've done this hundreds of times. I've seen a meme on the internet. I thought, man, that's really funny, or that's really controversial, or whatever it is, and I will turn it into a t-shirt design. And I've had some huge sales, thousands and thousands of shirts be sold off of a meme idea that I saw out there. And man, I thought, man, if that thing is getting a bunch of traction on Facebook, then people will probably buy it too. You know, you could look at a meme and just try to get some ideas. My husband said if I bring home another German Shepherd, he better be drunk. So here's a picture of a dog and they're buying some booze. Honestly, you could turn this into a t-shirt, because you're playing off of the German Shepherd thing, you're playing off the booze thing, and you just would got to get the right graphics and the right layout. It's funny. So you would be marketing it to people that obviously own a German Shepherd or multiple German Shepherds. And you could see on that particular one, you could try to look and see, you know, this got 34,000 likes. So clearly, people that like German Shepherds think this is hilarious, so this would probably convert itself into a good t-shirt. We're going to go into a lot more detail into research later on in Viralstyle Academy. I'm going to move on here just because I really want you to see all the tools that are available out there. The next one is a website called Zazzle.com. And on this site, you can do the same thing that I just did. Type in German Shepherd t-shirts, and it's going to generate for you hundreds of ideas of German Shepherd t-shirts that are out there right now. What I always try to do when researching a niche and researching designs for that niche is try to look and see what things are coming up over and over again. Are there particular phrases, like the dog father? I've seen this on some of the other things as I was scrolling through. So obviously this is playing off the Godfather, and they're, you know, having a German Shepherd look like he's a mafia guy. That's something that people like because clearly it's on multiple sites. You know, getting this German Shepherd silhouette is something that you're going to see here a lot. You're going to see it here. That's a great thing to use in a t-shirt design because it's just one color. It's easy to understand what it is. Clearly it looks like a German Shepherd, so that's something that you'd want to use. And anytime that you see the same design elements, the same graphics being used over and over again, you got to stop back and think, okay, that's something that works for this niche. I'm going to use that in my design. Same thing with fonts. If you see certain fonts that are being used over and over again, you say, hey, clearly that font may work for this niche. They like that particular font. So a lot of them, this is just kind of like a clean font. This is more of like a army font. So you can find these similar fonts out there, and we'll show you how to do that further down the road in design. Another website is Cafe Press. Exactly the same idea. You type in German Shepherds, and you're going to get all these German Shepherd t-shirts that are out there. And again, there's the dog father. It's another one playing off that same concept. So whenever you see those repeated concepts, you got to figure, okay, obviously that sells. Another website here, spreadshirt.com. You type in German Shepherd and you're going to see all kinds of different designs. You know, I had mentioned earlier in the video the whole "this girl loves whatever." Well, this one's "this girl loves her German Shepherd," and this layout has been around now for 2 years. This layout sells. It's been used over and over again, these fonts. So this is something to use for inspiration. This exact t-shirt layout, you could use this for something else, another niche, but you know, you're following the same design concept because you know that it worked. If it worked for them, it's going to probably work for you too if you get the right audience lined up. Another website here is Redbubble. Again, you're going to just type in German Shepherd t-shirt at the top, and it's going to give you tons more shirts that you can look at for inspiration. Another one here is called tview.org, or you can type in tview.photograph.com. Is going to pull you up to the main page here, and you can search for something. I have it pulled up here. I'm just going to go back to it, German Shepherd, and then you can sort by best-selling by numbers. So you can actually, this is pulling other crowd-funded German Shepherd t-shirts that have been available, and you can then see all that was out there and what was successful and what wasn't. And then when you pull up by number, you can see these are the ones that actually had hundreds of sales. And then ask yourself, why did this sell? What was it about this design? What was it about the graphics? Well, what emotion did it elicit in the people that to get them to buy the t-shirt? And try to understand the why behind it. And I'm going to get into more of that in a second here. So another website you can do some research is Teescover, TEESCOVER.com. Same thing, you type in German Shepherd and it's going to show you all these German Shepherd shirts that are out there that have been sold on crowdfunding platforms. A couple more sites that you can use. You can go to eBay, Amazon. There's another website called Wanelo, WANELO.com, or Screened.com, SKREENED.com. These, again, are sites just like the ones I just showed you for reference, that you can get on and do research to find t-shirt ideas, see what's out there, see what's already being sold. So what I want you to do, if you see a phrase that's out there, think about how you can make it better. Think about how you can make it punchier, or if whatever emotion is being elicited, whether it's humor or pride or excitement, how can you make them feel that emotion even greater by changing the language? Because I have many times seen designs out there, seen phrases, and I thought, yeah, that's kind of clever, but man, if I changed it to this or that, or just changed a few words or added something extra to it, all of a sudden it becomes much funnier, it becomes much punchier, or even more controversial, whatever it is. And then you're more likely to sell those shirts, and you've changed it and made it now its own unique phrase, and you're creating your own unique design, so you're not infringing on anybody else. And then you also want to be asking yourself, how can you take these ideas and bring it over to a new niche? So if you see a German Shepherd shirt that is selling really well, like ask yourself, how can I bring this over to Doberman Pinschers? How can I bring this to pit bulls? How could I bring this over to maybe horses and people who love horses or other animals that they own? So always be thinking that concept of how can I bring this out to other niches as well. To tie this back into the concept of the t-shirt success matrix, I'm going to constantly be bringing this up because in my opinion, this is the easiest way to understand all of the three major components that are required to be successful in selling t-shirts. Is you have the niche overlaid with the targeting, overlaid with the design, and when you intersect all three of those, that is where you're going to have sales happen. So in the previous video we talked in detail about the niche, so in this video we're talking about where to get ideas for design. Think about this, keeping these two things in mind. I'm going to bring up some specific challenge here at the end that I want you to think about. And the challenge is, I want you to look at 100 designs online that are currently selling. And I want to, while you're looking at these designs and thinking with the t-shirt success matrix in mind, ask yourself the following questions. So the first one is, why did this shirt sell? What did people like about it? Was it funny? Was it a feel-good shirt? Was it controversial? What was the why behind it? And that is so crucial. And let me explain that just briefly. There's the psychology of sales. There's a concept that basically, to very briefly explain it, it says that people buy something not because of what you're selling. They're buying it for the why behind the product that you're selling. So with a t-shirt, they're not necessarily just buying it because they need a piece of clothing. They're buying it because of the why. And the why is going to be because they are resonating with that shirt, and some sort of emotion is being elicited in the design, whether it makes them laugh, it makes them feel proud about who they are, or maybe it's just controversial that they are behind and they're backing. Whatever it is, and it may be a combination of several emotions, you have to ask yourself, Why is it selling? This girl loves her German Shepherd, is eliciting the emotions of love for her animal and then also a pride in being a German Shepherd owner. So the two of those things are coming together. That meme that we saw with the German Shepherd and the alcohol, that's a funny one, but it's also eliciting the pride in being a German Shepherd owner. So with these 100 shirts that you're looking at, ask why. Why is this selling? What is the real reason behind it? And then I actually want you to write it down. I challenge you to do that because if you really want to be successful at this business, you have to treat Viralstyle Academy as if you're taking college courses and you're majoring in some sort of new skill. And if you will be serious enough about it and treat it like it really is, like a formal education, and challenge yourself like you would if you were going through college courses, then you may actually be able to develop the skills that are needed in order to be very successful at selling t-shirts online, of which there is such tremendous opportunity to make a whole bunch of money in the t-shirt world. So treat this seriously and go through these questions and actually write them down at the end, because I tell you what, this is what I did when I was first getting into t-shirts, is I did these exact things that I'm teaching you right now. And this is how I learned what sold and what didn't sell. And I never sold any apparel before I got into this. So I was brand new beginner, just like you might be right now. And I had to begin to learn why stuff sold. What was the why behind it? So I'm teaching you this based on my own experience to help you get to the place where you could be making unbelievable income off of t-shirts. You have to challenge yourself, write down the why. Then the next thing I want you to ask yourself is going back to this t-shirt success matrix. The why has to do with the design itself and what is it about this design? Why are people resonating with it? But then the next part I want you to think about in the t-shirt success matrix is the niche itself, and then ask yourself, who bought this shirt? Who were the niche? Obviously, with German Shepherd t-shirts, it's a real simple answer. These are people that love German Shepherds, that probably own one or maybe even multiple German Shepherds. But on other designs you see out there, you may not very often understand who was buying this shirt. So try to figure those two things out. Why was this selling and who bought this shirt? And then as we get more further on in these videos, we're going to go into detail with the targeting part of the t-shirt success matrix and show you how to learn that. That is the end of this video. I really encourage you, take the time to challenge yourself, go through these questions and do research. And then if you are serious about this, don't just do 100 shirts. Look at 300, look at 500, look at 1,000. When I was first learning t-shirts, I think I looked at almost every t-shirt that was being sold on the internet in a 2-month window. I mean, I looked at everything I could come across. I was looking at it till my eyes were bloodshot and hurting, but I was so tenacious to try to understand why shirts were selling. So I was constantly looking at them and asking those questions. And if you get that same tenacity, you might find within yourself the skills developing to be able to understand why t-shirts sell, and then you can get the skills needed to begin to do it yourself down the road. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.